Alright, welcome to this episode of Moving Our World. I almost called it Small Bike Stuff, which is my old channel, which you should go have a look at if you like small motorbikes, small custom classic Japanese motorbikes mostly. There was a whole bunch of content on that page, it's still there, go watch it. Channel just cracked 1 million views, super proud. And here I am for Moving Our World with a 3-month update. So this channel started in March. 1st of March I uploaded my first videos, and I guess I kind of came up with the idea for this channel towards the end of 2021, and you can have a look at that kind of summary and how the channel was created in the first ever video on this channel. But to give you kind of an update about where things are at the moment, how I'm feeling things are going, I think it's only fair. We're just almost at 300 subscribers, which is wicked. I think we've just cracked 10,000 minutes of watch time or something like that, so things are growing and I'm really excited to see what happens. What was the idea of this channel at the start? So I wanted to upload filmed content in a similar style to my old channel, Small Bike Stuff, but I wanted it to be about anything and everything. I thought about doing the cheating way and just jumping on Small Bike Stuff, changing the name to Moving Our World, start off with 7,000 subscribers and keep growing. But I didn't think that was fair to those 7,000 and growing subscribers to do that. They like Small Bike Stuff. I will do more small bike content sometime in the future, definitely. So let's go through start to now what we've gotten up to. Alright, so we're at 32 videos so far. First video, Bosch is sporty, it's all about the vibes. One of my favourite videos I've filmed till this day. Thank you so much, Bosch, you helped me out a massive amount with letting me come around and film your bike. We went out for a photo shoot early in the morning, or a video shoot, and it turned out it was too dark and all I had was my GoPro, and all of the footage was terrible, but I tried to put in what I can, and that turned out really well. Love that, my first interview style. The Kubota RTV 900 Turbo video, that was good fun to make. I thought I was going to be doing a lot more voiceover style videos going forward, but it hasn't turned out that way, so that was kind of me experimenting with something. The rafting video, rafting with friends, highest commercially rafted waterfall in the world. That was super fun. That was a friend's stag do or bucks party if you're from Australia, I think that's what you call it, or the pre-marriage party that guys have together, and this one we went and did a whole bunch of adventure sports, and that was super fun. Didn't intend for that to be a video on the channel, but it is. 15 years with a DB8 Honda Integra Type R. That was Andrew in Whakatane, which is a town near me. And that was super fun to go and film that. He took the time out of his day to let me have a drive of that thing as well, let alone film it, which I didn't really put on the channel. I kind of almost want to come back and film a driving video if you don't mind. Just let me know, buddy. I'll be more than happy to. And after that, the Fiat 5566 daily tractor video, DT 5566 DT. That was wicked. First ever time driving a tractor and learning how to drive one, and had a whole bunch of fun learning about them. But yeah, it was one of those voiceover style videos that I thought I was going to do a lot of, and I haven't. So that's cool. Riding a Frisco Sporty. So I went and hung out with Bosch and rode on his bike, and that was super fun. And I got to ride it all around the show, had the high foot pegs, and it was really wicked. I want to do more of that kind of stuff, taking other people's vehicles out, but obviously a lot of the things I'm filming are people's pride and joy. A lot of them are cost a lot of money. Insurance might not let another driver in there and safely, so I just kind of do what I can going forward, really. Case Farmall 75C. I sat on that footage for months and then quickly threw it together and uploaded it because I had already referred to it in another video that I was about to upload. And yeah, it worked out okay. Once again, voiceover video, not my favourite, wasn't terrible, had a lot of fun, want to do more tractors. First time playing with tractors, that was the next video, super fun, had a really good time there. It was filmed at the same time as the Fiat video and the Case video. Accidentally buying an Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Pete, love you Pete. You are an absolute legend. Pete drove all the way down from Auckland to Tauranga in this climate with these gas prices in his Aston Martin V8 Vantage, and we hung out and went for a drive and also did some filming. So that was when I wasn't really sure how to make videos on the channel, and he spent most of the day with me, and I repaid him by buying him some dumplings afterwards, which was pretty good. K-Car Confusion, Perodua, Viva or Daihatsu Mira. This is a video I did with Andrew. Of course I do a lot of videos with Andrew or Kaz or Thomas, you know, my main mates from the motorbike scene, because we hang out together, and this is one of his vehicles. Got to make a story out of it. Really like that, go watch it. What exactly is a Super 88? Oldsmobile, that is Mark's. Mark is an absolute legend. Garlic Masters was held on a property he has access to, which is a motorcycle event I did at the start of 2022, and that video was on Small Bike Stuff, so you can go and check that out if you want. But this is about a 1960 Oldsmobile. Backstory, I swore in my life it was in 1962. Went home and did all this research about the 62 model, sat in the car with him. What year is it? 1960. Bugger. All my research I had on my notes on my phone kind of went out the window because there was some massive variations, but we still made a good video out of it. 13 seconds with a Prius engine. Dave. Roman Dave arguably has the biggest fan base of anyone I've filmed so far. And it was super fun to go out to the drags at Mere in North Island near Auckland in New Zealand and just film him with a 1NZFXE 1.5 litre Prius engine without the electric stuff in a Toyota Echo, doing a 13.4 second run down the quarter mile with 3D printed manifold, 3D printed intake trumpets, BMW S1000RR intake manifold, so it had ITBs, and wow, that guy's still modifying that car heavily and he's done a whole bunch to it, so hopefully we'll get to catch up with Dave sometime soon. Four-wheel drive Suzuki Swifts are a real thing. I love that video. That was fun to film, but it's pretty basic, but that's okay. I wish that I could go and film every single JDM four-wheel drive commuter car, because they exist. Hokkaido, the island north of the mainland of Japan, a lot of snow there, and a lot of snow in all of the north of Japan. So most commuter vehicles have a four-wheel drive option. And yeah, I love them. I think they're super cool. Tinny bashing New Zealand's busiest port. That was awesome. We were pretty careful about how we made that video, Jamie and I, and we also had Ella along, Jamie's daughter, wicked kid. And Jamie actually worked for an entity that we went past in that video at the time, but now his job's changed and he has something else that he's doing, and so we could have gone a bit more in depth there, but I still really, really like that video. One of my favourites thus far. Shame about the low views, but you know, it's a pretty regional specific video, but that's okay. HB Cosmo, Mazda's least loved rotary. Fun. Loved it. Hung out with Tony. Had a wicked time. Tony was the man. Let me drive his car, so I made another video about that. The low and slow 63 VW from Thomas, my good friend up in Auckland. I'd recently just been one of the groomsmen at his wedding, and then we got to film his car not long after that, and it was just good. Really, really had fun. Learned a lot about 63 Beetles and why they are better than newer Beetles and all of that kind of stuff. Turbo Diesel Family Wagon. This video I scoped out when I was at the drags filming Dave in his Toyota Echo with a Prius engine, and I saw this young dude and had a bit of a chat with him, and he quite clearly had, you know, moved to New Zealand at some point throughout his life and was super into this diesel scene. So it's like, man, there's a story here. And turns out Gonzalo, the guy, came from Chile, has lived in New Zealand for a long time, didn't get into diesels overseas, just got into them here, but it was super cool to see someone who wasn't born here, coming over here and embracing our vehicle culture and just running with it and arguably doing a much better job than most locals. So yeah, always interesting, isn't it? Wooden frame, plastic body, two-stroke Zuikao P70. So that was one of my favourite videos, one of the most successful videos on this channel thus far. And I will be going to film more cars with the guy that has access to that. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. We filmed an extra car on that same day, a Humber, but unfortunately I had the footage, one of my GoPros I had set to time-lapse, so all the footage got compressed and it wasn't actually a usable video, but maybe we can reshoot that, we'll see. The forklift. This video is kind of almost a personal joke between me and my mates because we really love Neil. Neil is one of our good friends and he's an incredible Shan enthusiast. Shan, basically that's a nickname for a shit yarn. And that doesn't mean it's a bad yarn. And yarn, if you're not familiar with the English language, we're talking about a conversation. So shit conversation. But it doesn't actually mean shit. It's a good conversation. So there you go, English language lesson. It was really fun. I kind of said to him, look, I want to film you. He said the cars that I've got aren't ready at the moment. I said, well, sling a yarn around anything you can. He said, what about Fred the forklift? Done. I love Fred the forklift. I knew Fred the forklift before we filmed that video. So we went and filmed Fred the forklift with the J15, a dedicated LPG engine, just a J15, not J15A. Had a wicked time. Watch that for Neil's stories more than the forklift story, but it's still a really, really good video about forklifts. The reality of rotary ownership, that was when Tony let me drive his Cosmo, filmed on the same day, released a few weeks apart, good fun. Thai Tuk Tuk, first drive. That was easily the most fun I've had, like, in my life until now. Getting to jump in a tuk-tuk and drive that thing. I've got a tattoo of one on my leg, which you see in the video. And oh, it was just so much fun jumping in this thing, expecting it to be incredible and so much fun to drive, and turns out it's actually quite horrible to drive and it needs a lot of work, and that was cool, having a reality check and realising I was still into it. that kind of was a cool realization for me. That it not being perfect didn't ruin it, and you know, yeah, I really like that. There's lots happening with that. The front end's off that at the moment, and then I released the Thai Tuk Tuk worse than I thought, which is when we assessed that and took the covers off and had a look at everything. Next video, tiny Hungarian electric motor car, the Hodjet pulley. This one was super cool because I was all about the story with this one. When I'd filmed another car on the same day as this, which was the Suica LP70, the old two-stroke, I had kind of ended up doing a story piece on its life and how it came about, and that's kind of what I ended up doing with the Hodjet pulley, the micro car, 2.46 meters long, and I didn't really know the story at the time, so I kind of had to throw it together afterwards. And no one from Hungary really even knew anything. I had one dude volunteer to translate a whole article about it for me, but unfortunately I never got back to him, or he never got back, I don't know. We're not in contact, it didn't work out. I found some more info, made the video, still went pretty well. Liked that. Go watch it. If you didn't watch it, you're missing out. It's one of my good videos. MAZDA 808 RX3 conversion, 13B naturally aspirated. Wicked time. That kind of filled a empty hole in my heart that I had for rotaries growing up. I always wanted one. If you ask my father what the car I was going to have when I grow up is, at age 10 I would have said rotary for 3 or 4 years straight. Him and I used to pine them, look at them in the back of the classic car magazines and the classified sections, and just, you know, I always wished that I could have one. Never got one. Now they're worth, you know, upwards of $100,000. But that guy was a friend of my brother's from high school, and I got to hang out with him and, yeah, check the car out, and it answered some of my questions that I'd had about rotaries. And I don't know if I still want one, but I definitely appreciated getting in that one, and I want to check out as many as I can because they're a fascinating piece of automotive equipment. Next video was one of my favorites purely because I'm biased, the Toyota Secret Model Spacio Remix. AE111 or AE111 or AE111, whatever you want to call it. It is a Toyota Spacio, but it's basically a Corolla with a van body on it, I guess you could say. And this one was the Remix edition, and Toyota's got a Starlet Remix and I think an Ipsum Remix. So there's a few different Remix models, and I didn't realise they made it in Spacio. It's got a moonroof, it's just got so many cool different features. And the guy, Michael, that owns that vehicle is one of the most fascinating dudes I've met in a very long time. I edited out a whole bunch of his information about his studying because we just got real in depth about it, and it got quite niche and specific and we went on a massive tangent, but super interesting. Anyway, Buggy Robot Works, that was super fun. So I went and filmed Robot Man's Honda Cub Custom, sat him down in front of some graffiti and had a big conversation. I've known Martin for many years, and Martin's been a big supporter of what I've done in the small motorbike scene over the years, so to get him on camera and talk about a massive part of his life ending, or a massive kind of chapter of his life closing before a new one starts, is really awesome for me. And I've got a new video coming out about him, which is actually already out by the time you see this, and it's the Buggy Robot Works studio tour, so that's a wicked video where we just went around his studio as well. Thai Tuk Tuk, the front fell off. Now the front fell off thing, I threw that kind of clip of the meme in there in the video. We took the front forks off because they had a bit of play, and we're in the process of getting them repaired. So that's just removal, showing you a bit more about how it's put together. Pretty interesting. But yeah, that's about it. And last video, accidentally finding this Porsche 944 owner's first car. That was wild. So much fun hanging out with Brody and realizing just how passionate one man can be. His parents have kind of designed that kid to be super passionate about everything that he comes across, whether it's music or teaching or vehicles or just literally anything that he likes, he gives a whole hog. And it's really cool to sit beside someone like that and get their opinion and their story on things, and to then go and find his old 190E that he'd had as his first car was just, yeah, fascinating. Really awesome dude. I hope we get to catch up soon. But that's about it on the video front. That's 31-ish videos that I've released so far. I've got a website that you can go on. So if you go onto movingourworld.com, there's a little blurb about most of the vehicles that I've filmed and just a bit more information about kind of what I'm up to and why I do it. So that's a good place to have a look at, and direct people to that if they want more information. They can kind of see all my videos and all my content that I have created there. Social media, I'm on Instagram, Moving Our World. I'm on Facebook, Moving Our World. I don't do TikTok, but I have created an account, but I don't use it. And YouTube, obviously. That's about it. So yeah, spread the word. It genuinely does help when you tell people about my videos. If you've watched this far into this video, I assume that you like my content And if you could just share 1 or 2 of my videos with your mates, you know, even that makes the biggest difference to me. I really want to get this channel monetized and have it become kind of my main channel. And, you know, surpassing small bike stuff is the goal. I think it easily has the capacity to do so. It's just a lot of hard work and effort from me on my end for the next kind of 18 months to a couple years. And I'm here for it, so you're stuck with me whether you like it or not. I do have a Patreon. So Patreon, if you don't know what it is and you do like supporting people on YouTube and you want to do a bit more than just click like and click subscribe, you can donate $3 or $5 a month or something like that. It's a small amount. There's 2 categories. The first donation amount, if you give that, I'll credit you on a few of my videos. If you donate the larger amount, then I'll give you early access to every video I make. That can sometimes be 24 hours before, sometimes an hour before, sometimes a week or 2 before. So I will give early access to all my content. So if you're super interested in what I'm getting up to and you want to have a kind of a conversation with me, if you get early access and you comment on any of my videos, I'll reply to every single one of them. So it's a really good way to kind of build that rapport and support what I'm doing. So if you do like it, yeah, jump in there and throw some cash my way. If you're unable to, don't stretch yourself, don't worry, it's fine. Watch my stuff for free, more than happy. But yeah, if you do understand the amount of stuff that actually goes into this and you really want to support it, then yeah, I would love it. That would be awesome. And it wasn't until I filmed the tuk-tuk fixing video, or the front falling off the tuk-tuk, that I was brave enough to bring up my Patreon. But it exists, and yeah, I need to get over the fact that I'm scared to beg people for stuff, because that's part of being a person that creates content and media on the internet. You've got to ask for help. So help me out if you can. That'll be wicked. If you can't, don't worry. Likely trips, it won't be till 2023 that I get to leave New Zealand, most likely, and then most likely it will be through Southeast Asia. So you can definitely expect some motorized content from that part of the world, but it will just be a little while before it happens. And that's about it, really. Any content suggestions? Obviously, it has to be New Zealand based. Get at me at the moment. I'm probably going to start having a yarn with a few different people that I know in different countries, so I'll start to showcase those as well. And yeah, I just really want to showcase everything that makes our world move, whether it's automotive and has an engine or it doesn't. I don't care. Really excited. Got some electric vehicles that I've got in the works at the moment. I'm filming an electric scooter that does 70 to 80 kilometers per hour, and it's pretty interesting. So yeah, stay tuned. Look, I know this is going to be one of my least viewed videos. That's 100% fine. But if you have watched this all the way to the end, look, this is genuinely a thank you to you, because you obviously like what I'm up to, or care enough or hate me enough to watch this far. So I really, really appreciate it. And sitting in front of a camera and just talking to it's kind of weird. I'll take a photo and show you what it's like. This is literally what I'm doing right now, just talking to a camera like that. Anyway, thank you, and I'll see you next time on Moving Our World. Cheers. Bye.